Here we go. We have a question, bottom view of a binary tree. Question is pretty self-explanatory, but we still read the problem description. Given a binary tree, we have to return the array represent the bottom view. If there are multiple bottommost nodes for a horizontal distance, we will get to it from the root, then the latter one in the level traversal is considered. So for example, in this 3 and 4 are both on the bottommost nodes at a horizontal distance 0. We will get to it what is horizontal distance. Then 4 will be considered. So that's all about the description. Let's build the approach. So this is it. We have a thing horizontal distance, which means first we take these things, then consider these things, then consider these things, then consider these things. So after considering these things, we are at the bottommost node. So this nodes will update our answer. So for calculating our answer, we have a thing horizontal distance or ID. So initially for root node it is 0. If we are going left hand side, then we will subtract 1 from root node, 1 from parent node. Then again we are going left side, we subtract 1 from parent node. If we are going right side, then we add 1 to the parent node. If we are going right, we subtract 1. From here, if we are going right, add plus 1, going right, add plus 1. From here we go left, 0. Then from here we go right, so add plus 1. So here it said if the horizontal distance is equal, then we have to consider the level or traversal wise. So we consider this thing. So we have this thing first we traverse in this manner. So for 0 we have a value 20. Now for these things minus 1 we have a for minus 1 we have a value 8, and for 1 we have a value 22. Now consider this level. For minus 2 we have to consider 5. For 0 we have to consider 3. Now 0 is updated. For 0 we have to consider 4. So now 0 is updated. For 2 we have to consider 25. For 2 we will consider 25. For minus 1 we will consider 10. For 1 we consider 14. And we traverse in positive manner. So first minus 2 thing, so its value or node is 5. Then we have minus 1, its value is 10. Then we have 0, its value is 4. Then we have 1, its value is 14. Then we have 25. So that's the answer. So let's build the approach. How we approach this question. So as you can see, we have a thing. This is called horizontal distance. I will say it ID or IDX. So this is ID. For a particular node, we have to take care two things. First is the node, and second is the ID. So for storing this thing, we create a class. We create a class and name it details. In details, we store our node, and our value or ID. This is the horizontal distance. So for Q, for our root node, we first fill 20. This is the root node and its ID. Its ID is 0. Then we take out this value and we have another thing. This is our Q, and we have another thing which is a map. So this will map the ID with the corresponding value. So this is our ID. So for ID, it will fill 20. Now we have 20. This is our node, current node. If its left is not null, yes, its left is not null, its left is 8. So add your left, and as we are going left, so we have to consider minus 1. and it's in the right. So for right we have to take +1. That's it. Next we take out this value. So for -1 it will create one another value or entry, and its value is 8. So for 8 its left is 5 and id is -2, and its right is 3, and the value or id is 0. Then we take out our next value, as this is q, so 22 and value is 1, id is 1. So for 1 it will store 1 corresponding value 22. So for 22 its left is 4, 4 with id 0, and its right is 25 with id 2. So that's the approach. We take out value and we add into our map. We take out value and we'll add into our map. If entry already exists, then we'll update our value. So that's all. Let's code this. So as I said, first we have to consider queue. For queues, our data type is details. Details is a class that I have created here. So it takes two things. First is node, second is id. Id is the horizontal distance. So I am taking this. Next, first we have to fill our root node. So for root node, our horizontal distance is 0. Next thing we have is map. So while queue size is greater than 0, size is not empty, first take out your queue. So either we can see the first element or we can pop out the element. So first I am seeing the element, next I am popping the element. So after that we have to update our map. So for this current id, this is the horizontal distance. So for this current horizontal distance we have to fill out the current value. So for current is our detail, and current node corresponds to current node, and we have to fill its value. So that's how we fill its value. If its left is not null, so current dot node, this is the current node. If left is not null, so push its left with id -1. If its right is not null, then push its right with id +1. And we have to return answer. So this is answer. We have to return a vector. So we have our thing in our map. So for map, first thing we have is horizontal distance, and correspond to that we have our values. So we have to take second value. So first we have a horizontal distance, second we have a values. So push your values and return your answer. Let's submit this code. Subscribe. Thanks. That's it.